City Wrestling.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to Grind City Wrestling. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or wherever you are listening. Also, check out the archive, grindcitymedia.com/podcasts. And last week, we got you caught up on some wrestling gossip and some wrestling news and headlines. And this week, we see clearly everything has come to pass. Of course, we'll talk about Edge, Adam Copeland debuting in AEW. Plus, today we're going to catch up with WWE legend Gangrel and ask him about Edge and Christian. Jump into AEW, all that and more. But right now, it is bell time. And introducing first, making his triumphant return to Grind City Wrestling, he did not score an interview with CM Punk, but he did debut inside the UFC cage, so we're going to allow him back. Welcome back, E-Rock Eric McMahon. What's up, E?
I humbly return after being exiled from this podcast because I could not score the CM Punk Phil Brooks interview. But hey, Phil Brooks wasn't in the talking mood, man. That's all I got to say.
Did you ask him, though? Did you at least approach him and ask him?
When he gave me that off look, when he gave me that screw off look when I said, yo, what up, Punk? Good to see you again. I knew it probably wasn't the time to ask him for an interview.
So if I'm hearing you right, and I think I am, CM Punk might not be the most approachable guy sometimes.
You know what? I have a good relationship with CM Punk because I ref a lot of the shows, and so we're always very cordial.
Here comes the sugarcoat. That's the sugarcoat you're talking about.
He was not mean. He wasn't anything. You could just tell that, like, it was like, he was like, hey, Eric, good to see you again. And he kept moving. He wasn't in that, like, jovial. So, no, I'm not going to say he wasn't approachable because he's very approachable. He's very nice. You know it.
I'm kidding.
But he's, like, all about business when he's doing something. He's not a fluff type guy.
Yeah, be sure to follow Eric on Twitter at @E_MacLive. We're going to introduce Devin in just a second, but I got to ask you, you debuted inside the cage. Did you win? Just kidding, dude. Just kidding, dude.
No, man, working in UFC was an amazing experience. It was a long haul. I mean, you know it. It's like getting to that big show it's not luck. It's not, you do have to have a lot of lucky breaks, but it's like you have to work your tail off. You have to shake the right hands. You have to do the right things, and you have to be able to, like, just put yourself out on a limb. I finally did it. I got called up to the big show. Hopefully you'll see me in the Octagon reffing a lot more, but it was an unbelievable experience, and they were pretty happy with my performance too, so it was awesome.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. One quick question. When I first got an opportunity with WWE after wrestling for a couple of years, when I got there, I told the story yesterday on Sports 56 that I felt like I was doing it wrong. Like, these guys were bigger, badder, rugged. They were more stiff. They were snug. They just performed at a different level and a different velocity. Is it a different change of pace, a different speed going from the one level to the UFC level?
It is. Now, I've reffed a lot of high-level fights in other organizations, but the magnitude is different, right? So even though you're doing the same thing, the magnitude, the lights are different, the commentators are different. The production aspect of it is usually, I'm like, fighter, are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight, right? But that's not the case when you go to the UFC. You have to get the call from, like, there's a 3 levels of, like, interchangeable stuff before you can even start the fight. Like, you have to make sure the cameramen are in the right positions. You have to wait for the production guy giving you, okay, now it's okay for you to start the fight. So you have these two combatants who are ready to literally tear each other's head off. They're looking at me. When are you going to start this fight? Because I am ready to go. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the production guy to tell me when I can start this fight. So the overall experience is a lot different, and just because there's so much more riding on it. You know what I mean?
We could ask you questions about UFC all day long, but right now we got to introduce the third man in the trio, and I'm going to say we are the trio's champs by now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Devin Walker. Baby!
Or when I drive, hey, swerve when I drive. I almost got in trouble this weekend because I kept singing that song and doing that dance. So
what?
Yeah, my girlfriend.
Stuck in your head.
She was like, "Is that the only part of the song you know?"
Yes.
That's the only part of the song I know.
His T-shirt says it now. Swerve when I drive.
Exactly. So yeah, we on that type of time today. We're swerving while we're driving. You feel me?
Be sure to follow Devin on Twitter at Devin_Walker2. Now, you've been super duper busy lately. The Grizzlies season right around the corner. I know I wasn't supposed to talk about Media Day last week, but I did. And then now we have 2 Media Days. So you are absolutely grinding right now.
We have a content day, then a media day.
Sorry. I wasn't invited to either. So how was it, Devin? What's going on? I know you're crazy as all get out.
It was fun, man. Like, it's just the initial kickoff of the year. Let you know the season's right around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So it's always good to see the guys because they are the content kings and they help me do my job at a very high level. So shout out to the gang, bro.
And it's early in the season, so they're still in a good mood.
Yes. I saw Jaron snatch your phone, turn it around on you, get a little love for Devin.
That happens way too often. Don't appreciate it.
Don't act like you hate it. All right, coming up today on Grind City Wrestling, we're going to tackle a few of the headlines. I'm going to catch up with the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, but first we got to talk about...
because Devin was sitting under his desk when he heard you scored that interview.
He would totally hide. He would totally hide from it, and I was going to ask him if he's coming out this Sunday to the Halloween Spooktacular, but if you don't hurry up, Devin, there's not going to be any seats left. But I'll catch up with Gangrel coming up here in just a minute. But first, the best wrestling that we watched all week. And Eric, since you've been gone for a little bit, you got a lot to choose from. You're up first.
Listen, I said this off air, and I'll say it on air.
Here we go.
Pictures of Rhea Ripley. Just, if she's on the television, I'm watching.
What a creepo.
Well, when she comes out,
this woman is so impressive. She has got that it factor. You never think that this goth, huge emo-ish chick is gonna
hot topic ass chick
enthrall me, but she does. She's amazing,
awesome.
And she ain't bad to look at either. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
She's a good looking chick, man.
Well, when she gets in the ring and she starts calling out the Judgment Day. And then instantly when the fans know that there's some sort of heat between her and Dom, and her to tell Dom that you don't come home with that North American Championship, then just don't come home. Oh my gosh, the people went crazy.
Well, and I think I love the aspect of it is that you have the leader of the faction is the woman.
Yeah.
That is just and in a lot of scenarios, that's not believable. But with Rhea Ripley, she is so damn over in every aspect that you're like, that makes a lot of sense, Even
do you believe the Nia Jax? Do you believe the Nia Jax as the contender at this point? Because look at all the stars they've got. They've got Becky, they've got Charlotte.
Jade. I believe Jade is the contender.
Cargill. I was just about to say Jade looked like she's headed to Monday Night Raw.
Listen, it don't matter. I don't think anybody's a contender with her right now. She is so damn hot. Unless they pull some swerve, it don't matter. The contender is just the other person with her. That's the way I look at it right now.
Eric, best wrestling is Rhea Ripley. I think we can all agree on that. But Devin, just in case, what is your best wrestling that you watched all week?
I watched a lot of wrestling, so there's a lot to choose from, like you said. But I can easily go with my guy Swerve.
What a match!
I can go with Prince Nana following me on Twitter.
Yeah.
I can go with what else can I go with? I can go with Edge debuting on AEW. I can go with a lot of things, bro.
We're gonna get into that, right? So we don't have to segment that right now.
Yeah,
right?
but I think I'm gonna go with my guy, and I think I brought this up before on this show. And I said it was my best wrestling of the week then, but I think on the platform that he did it on this week, I think it mattered more, even though he did lose on Tuesday. And it's going to segue into the conversation we have to have. Trick Williams in NXT is a effing star, bro. Bro has a look. He walks out to the ring, and I know for us in Memphis, we love to hear it. He walks out. Whoop that trick, get him. And you hear Booker T doing the ad-libs, and I'm like, okay, Book, I see you.
But I got a question to ask about that, Devin.
Yeah.
We hold that near and dear to us here.
For sure.
Do we like that it's becoming more mainstream, or are we like, that's our thing?
It's also our television theme song that Al Capone wrote a special version for us too. So I'm thinking the same thing you're thinking, Eric, is on the national stage. Does Memphis like this?
I think it's,
You know what I mean?
I think as one of the certified gatekeepers of Memphis culture, I think it's okay, bro. I think in the way that's being used, because we like it when we go to shows in their, like we went to the Impact show, they're trying to whoop that trick, and we see Trinity is like twerking to it. That's a homage to our culture, right? So I think when you see a guy like Trick Williams, who is a guy of the culture, and you see a guy who Booker T, who's putting it over and who's ad-libbing it, I think for me, I'm like, yo, shout out, bro. That means that y'all putting respect on Memphis, bro.
Okay, I hear you, and I agree with you 100%. But like, here's where I take exception with it. Like, Vince McMahon did the Vince McMahon walk 10 years before Conor McGregor ever did it, and now it's the Conor McGregor walk. That's where I come from.
You think they're going to take it from us? You think they're going to take it from us?
Well, I think from a cultural standpoint, like we all know, and anybody that's a basketball fan may know, but from like the main culture, let's say he gets up to the main roster and it becomes this phenomenon. Guess where the rub ain't coming from? It ain't coming from the Memphis Grizzlies.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you they will circle back and let people know where the hell it came from. I think so. I personally,
you never heard Conor McGregor circle back and say, I stole this.
I don't know that they would circle back, but I think that the fans would let them know. Like wrestling fans, I know this is even before Eric and before the Grizzlies and stuff, but at Mid-South Coliseum, they used to chant "Whoop that trick" a long time ago, when the movie first came out and stuff, and on the TV tapings and such like that. So I remember asking, what does "Whoop that trick" mean? Kind of like the kids do now.
And I love how the definition has changed over the years.
Definitely, the definition has definitely changed.
The definition has always been the definition. If I'm gonna keep it real,
right. But
I believe in both. Yeah, both.
There's definitely wait. As we dive, what is y'all's definition of "whoop that trick"?
Well, if we're going to be honest about what the song was intended, I think we know.
What's your definition? Because my definition is different than yours.
Well, let's say yours, because yours is probably a little more PC than mine is.
Oh, my definition is because, okay, for me, what is a trick to you? A trick to me is somebody who spends money on somebody that doesn't need to be spent money on, or somebody who's being used.
It's a punk.
Like somebody who's being used in a situation.
I'm gonna whoop that punk, man.
When you say whoop that trick, it's basically whoop that soft. You know what I'm saying?
When you say the word trick comes from buying prostitutes, whoop that either.
Yeah, but also slaw. Also
because a pimp is historically known. A pimp historically known, and the reference in that movie is he is a pimp who pimps out his prostitutes. Whoop them. That's what it is. We can't even.
But hold on. That's not fair either, because I think that in Memphis the slang is slaw. That's slaw, dog. That don't mean it's slaw like food. That means it's slaw.
That's what I'm saying. If it's an ever-evolving definition, I'm fine with that. But that's not how the movie and the song was intended. Just saying.
Yeah, we're not going by the movie definition. I'm sorry, bro.
No, we're going by the Memphis Wrestling.
But that's where the song came from.
I'm sorry.
We wrote and produced for that. Hustle and flow movie.
We don't care.
Okay.
Like I said,
that's what I'm saying. Ever changing.
The vernacular in Memphis, since the beginning of time, when somebody said the word trick, it means somebody who's weak and somebody who is not of stature.
That's what I think. Now, Devin and I are from Memphis. Eric, where are you from?
I'm from Arizona.
Exactly. So there you go. Continue.
Rest my case.
Wrestling podcast. Continue.
Best wrestling Devin watched all week was Whoop That Trick with Trick Williams. I also like that Dom beat him again. So Dom beat him, won the title. So now Trick Williams has a really good feud for NXT with the North American Championship against a WWE superstar, a bona fide superstar. Like Dom is a thing now. He's not just Ray's son. He's become a superstar with Rhea Ripley. All right, so moving on, the best wrestling that I watched all week. So since you guys didn't say it, and I know you were already thinking it and feeling it, Edge making his debut in AEW. Excuse me, this is going to be tough. Adam Copeland making his debut. The rated R superstar. First and foremost, how did WWE not have this trademark on lockdown?
That's what we just talked about. I just saw E-Rock. I was like, how do you not have if you know that he's about to leave, you at least lock it down, right?
Yes. You just don't think that something like that's going to happen, because Vince McMahon and the WWE made Edge a household name, made him possibly a multimillionaire, a Hall of Famer. And I know Edge did the work, so I'm not saying that Edge owes Vince anything. But when you look at it, it's like that quarterback that wants that one last contract, that's jumping from one team to the next, the Brett Favre, the Peyton Manning, the Tom Brady, or however you want to compare it. But we'll talk about it in just a second. But
You want to know the
first,
famous saying, though, Dustin?
go ahead.
It's show friends. It ain't show. Oh, it's just show business. It ain't show friends.
There you go. I caught up with the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, and you guys know that Edge and Christian were members of the Brood. So I talked to Gangrel. He's going to be live in Memphis this Sunday for the Memphis Wrestling Halloween Spooktacular. And I asked him about Edge, and I asked him about Christian. So check this out real quick, and then we'll talk all about Edge's debut in AEW. And joining me right now is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He is a Memphis wrestling legend. He is a WWE legend, and he is still out there banging and banging all across the United States, actually all across the world. The Vampire Warrior Gangrel. What's up, man? How are you?
Well, some get some, bad enough take some. 24/7, all in. Got to get out and keep banging and banging.
I hear you. We got to catch up a lot more than just once a year. You know, our Halloween Spooktacular is coming up with Memphis Wrestling, and so you were here with us last Halloween, and you're coming back for the big Halloween show this weekend.
I'm looking forward to it. I always love getting back into Memphis. The Memphis fans are like no other fans in the world. They're great. It's awesome. Memphis is a great place. Maybe even get a little bit of barbecue this time.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to have Corky's Barbecue here in the house, but you're not coming alone, man. This year, this Halloween Spooktacular is bigger than ever. Literally, we've got Cruel, Kevin Thorn, two guys that you are very accustomed to, not only here in Memphis, but a little bit everywhere. Crazy Steve from Impact Wrestling, and of course, the Vampire Warrior Gangrel. 4 feature attractions, all for Halloween. What's going to happen with all you guys in the same building at the same time?
I don't know. Crazy Steve is crazy. Cruel, Gruel, or whatever. He's got some toxic waste going on that's affected him. And then Kevin Thorn, he's just a big old ass vampire. So I think there'll be a lot of things that go bump in the night in that building, and it's going to be interesting. It'll be fun. It'll definitely be fanging and banging. If you're in the Memphis area and you're able to come down, you should come down and join the fanging and banging. You just don't know what's going to go down with all 4 of us in that building.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, Kevin Thorn, much like you, he started his career right here in the Memphis area. You and him now have a very interesting relationship where sometimes you're teaming together and sometimes you're fighting together. Do we know what's going to happen this weekend between you two?
Well, if I had my way, I hope we're teaming together because I do not like fighting that big guy.
Hey, peek behind the curtain a little bit.
Mean vampire. So
peek behind the curtain a little bit. That's one big, strong, tough dude, and a lot of times he'll beat you up for real in there.
You ever seen the size of his hands?
Yes. All right. Well, let's talk about some professional wrestling. We'll talk about Memphis coming up here in just a moment, but let's talk about some pro wrestling. Anytime I see Edge and Christian, I automatically think of you. And last week, I think they broke the internet. Edge and Christian together again. Oh, hold on. Excuse me. Adam Copeland together with Christian in AEW. Were you surprised by this? Tell me what's going through Edge's mind after leaving WWE for so long.
Well, the old rated R superstar there. I didn't think he would leave. I honestly thought he would stay there, finish it out, being he'd been there 25 years. His wife's there, Beth. But that's just being me, a friend of him, wanting to see him finish out there. Now, as a wrestler, man, he used the word free. You heard him say he felt free. And, the break free to change the WWE. He wrestled, he went right immediately into WWE. He didn't do a whole lot of independent stuff, did some stuff throughout Canada and, some native reserves and stuff like that. He was very limited on shows. He got put right into the system. So, he doesn't really know anything else. So he's probably excited and looking forward to getting out there and maybe taking charge of his own path, his own course, his own destiny. And Tony Khan's giving him that opportunity. I'm happy for him. I hope it all turns out great. I'm excited for him. Looks like he's foes with Christian at the moment. It looks like the way it was leading there, or they didn't really say anything. They just had to stand up. But very, very excited to watch this journey. I'm very happy for him. And if anybody deserves the best in the world, he does.
Welcome to the Vampire Warrior Gangrel here on Grind City Wrestling. I talked about it just a couple of weeks ago, where it's almost like a legendary quarterback leaving a professional football team. Like, I was a huge Dan Marino fan. There were rumors that when he was leaving the Dolphins, he was going to go to Minnesota. He never signed, so he was forever a Dolphin. Joe Montana, on the other hand, Brett Favre, they decided towards the end of the career, Tom Brady decided to jump teams, and is that
Well,
similar?
I'm hoping it. I hope it turns out more than 1 year, like Tom Brady. Because I'm a Buccaneers fan. He came in, we went to the Super Bowl. Excited. I was always a Tom Brady fan. Was always a Dan Marino fan. Doug Williams. Like so I'm excited for him. I think he could come in and do as well as Marino did with the Buccaneers, as long as they let him. How long can he do that consistently over a year? I don't know. Because you're still, no matter what you're doing, you're still dealing with a system. You still have to answer to people. So, but hopefully he finds what he's looking for, and I hope he has a great journey and it turns out the way he expected it and then some.
And just kind of playing devil's advocate here, do you think, because this is all over the internet, especially Twitter, you know how Twitter is, do you think that Edge has burnt a bridge, or do you think WWE looks at it like it's business? He can come back and finish out here later or whatever.
My personal thought is I think they're fine with it. I think they're like, great, go over there, take their money. We're going to take a couple of their younger talents, sign them, develop them for the future. Our older guys that are costing a lot of money and stuff like that, here, go have a way, go enjoy yourself, go take his money, like, do what you want to do. If you ever want to come back as a liaison or something later on, and I'm sure that it'd be open door for him, because he's not the kind of guy that burns bridges. He wouldn't do it to burn a bridge. He would be very political about it. He would do it the right way, and I'm sure that's what he did. He's not that type of person. So I'm sure he's welcome back there.
Very cool. We're talking to the Vampire Warrior Gangrel, talking about Edge and Christian. So it's all cool that these guys are doing fine, but I know you're doing fine as well. You're traveling all over the place. I said all over the United States, but I know you've been on some international tours and such as well. What's new with Gangrel?
Well, I'll be in Memphis this weekend after Indiana. So looking forward to that. I believe I have 18 shows and signings in the month of October. So I'll be grinding it out. That'll mostly be all continental, some East Coast, West Coast stuff. Then November, I'm in Denmark, Copenhagen, over in Copenhagen, back. So November's full all the way up to Thanksgiving, and in December I'll be over in the UK. That'll be international. January I'll be on the Jericho cruise and the UK. February back in UK. Cool. This is with all my stuff. So I'm running a school called Coastal Championship Wrestling. So I'm in the ring Monday through Thursday there, training the young women and men coming up to be professional entertainers and professional wrestlers. So I do that, and then I'm out there grinding on the weekend. So 7 days a week, I'm pretty much in the ring, banging and banging. Want some, get some. Bad enough, I'm trying to take some. I'm out there doing what I can do, man. It's catching up to me. I'm more of a tampire, not a real vampire. So age and everything's getting on to me, man.
I've never heard the term tampire. I love that.
If you look back at the WWE, when I was in WWF at the time, I was like one of the tannest guys on the roster, and I was a vampire. Nobody ever said anything. The whole time I had that, I said, I'm going to tell them I'm a tampire if they call me out on it. Not once did they ever.
That is hilarious. And I was going to mention, I think I texted this to you. Do you even age? At this point, I think you're a real shoot vampire. You've got the fangs. You don't age at all. The only thing, I guess, is that you do have the tan. And you live in Florida, right?
I live in Florida, so it's kind of hard not to get it when you go in there.
I understand.
Sun's always out. It's a cloudy day today. It's a little overcast, but still sunny this morning when I was out there.
One last question before we wrap it up. I think I talked to you about this each time, but what's it like to get really busy around Halloween? Like, you have a perfect character that not only is like just all year round because of what you've been able to accomplish in professional wrestling, but I know you've got to be getting calls like really early on to try to save you for the month of October. Just like us, we reached out really early saying, hey, we're doing this on the 8th for Halloween. We wanted to get you, man.
Yeah, it's tough. A lot of people are already trying to reach out for next Halloween, next October. And I don't like to take bookings that far out because there's been some that come up that, like, I could have been in Dubai and did some stuff, but I'll stay loyal to whatever booking I take. So I tend not to take them no more than like 5 months out. But I do. So if you were to ask me, hey, I need you next October, I would go ahead and put it in because I've worked with you and I know everything's going to be golden there. And I love Memphis and love everything about Memphis and had nothing but pleasurable times with you. So I know it's good. People I don't know, I tend to say, reach back out to me in 4 months. But by the time they do, it's already slammed full with stuff. It's exciting. I always worry. I worry because you say I never age, but I feel like my body does. I feel things and I start going, man, can I take some of these East Coast, West Coast? Because there's one trip that I'm doing, this loop. I'm doing Chicago, Michigan. And then from Michigan, I'm going to fly to LA, fly home on Tuesday, jump back on a plane Thursday and do San Diego and do a Cali loop up there and then come back. So those East Coast, West Coast, when you squeeze the things in, it can get tiresome. It's more the flights, sitting in the worried about trying to juggle the flights and not getting that. You heard how whiny I was about seats. That is more of my issue. I love wrestling. I'm not worried about the wrestling. I'm not worried about grinding out shows. I'm always worried about getting a better seat on that plane so I can make it to the shows, because it's the planes that wear me down. Like the seats have gotten harder. They feel like they've gotten smaller and people have gotten larger. With all that combination, it could be a tough flight once in a while where you're crisscrossing.
Well, it's always good to have you here in Memphis, and I totally understand. I think one of the things that's different than some of the other promotions and bookers is that I have done that. I've done all of that stuff, and I know that the people don't realize that the travel is a very, very tough thing. From getting on one airplane to the next, you're scrunched up. You're a big guy, so your knees hurt, things like that. I'm a small guy, and my knees hurt on an airplane. Mm-hmm. And then traveling and getting very little sleep, even though you are a vampire and don't sleep anyways. But then having to get right to the building, do a meet and greet, hop in the ring, and perform at a high level. I totally get it. So I commend you. You're still rocking and rolling and fanging and banging. Can't wait to see you this weekend in Memphis.
Well, Sunday's going to be a whirlwind. I'll be coming in from Indianapolis, right to the meet and greet, right to the ring, and then right back out to the airport with a tight connection in Charlotte, hoping to make it home. So, but that's what I do, and that's what we all do. We love it, no matter what they say or how much you hear people whine or complain or anything. Yep. We truly love this, and that's why we do it. And you too, you love it, entertainment. We love being a part of it. We're blessed. We're in a special circle of greatness.
I'd rather be doing this than punching the clock somewhere or digging ditches somewhere. All right, so this Sunday, October the 8th.
That's all I'm qualified to do.
It's our annual Halloween spooktacular featuring Gangrel, Crazy Steve, Cruel, and Kevin Thorn. The seats, there are not going to be any seats by the time the show rolls around. All the ringside seating is already sold out. There are limited general admission tickets available right now, and there are also VIP tickets. So from 12:30 to 1:30, they can come and meet you guys and get signatures and memorabilia. What's the coolest thing that you've signed from a Memphis Wrestling fan? I know they bring all sorts of old school stuff to you. Can you think of one off the top of your head?
What is it? Besides the chest? Easy. But there has been a few. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I signed like a vial of blood one time.
Oh, nice.
But not
real
recently.
blood?
Back. Blood. Well, I hope it wasn't real blood, but...
Never know. All right. So if anybody's wanting to get those tickets, go to memphiswrestling.tv. If you use the code Halloween at checkout, you'll save $5 per ticket. Probably won't have any walk-up available, so be sure to reserve your seat. Any final words that you want to send out to the fans of Memphis, Tennessee? They've been with you a long time.
I do. I want to say thank you, because without the fans, Memphis fans and all fans, but Memphis fans, because that's why I put some time in there and developed this character. I want to say thank you. Thank you for being loyal. Thank you for supporting me all these years. And come on out. And in person, I'll tell you thank you again when I see you this weekend out there at the WrestlePlex.
Can't wait. Vampire Warrior Gangrel. We'll see you Sunday.
Have a fang and a banging day.
All right, welcome back. Dustin Starr, Devin Walker, and E-Rock, Eric McMahon. That was the Vampire Warrior Gangrel. Always good catching up with him. Devin, did it scare you or what?
No, bro, I'm a grown-ass man now, dog. But nah, for real. Like,
he was under his desk.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Gangrel scares me the shit out of me.
He was under his desk.
Like I told you, bro, him and Evan Thorn, bro, they scare the hell out of me. So yeah, I'm always gonna be a little bit when I see them show up in the building, is a little bit of heebie-jeebies over on this side.
Yeah, Gangrel, Kevin Thorn, Crazy Steve, and Cruel all going to be there this weekend. Now, I did ask Gangrel about if WWE, do we think WWE is upset with Edge? Did Edge possibly burn a bridge by jumping to AEW from WWE? He seems to think not, but I don't know, man. I know that always in the back of your head, you're like, wait, that guy turned his back on us.
I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you why. So next week, right? AEW is moving to Tuesday, right?
Yes, I'm glad you brought this up.
And what the hell did WWE do for their Tuesday show next week?
What do you want them to do?
They said John Cena's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
They said Paul Heyman's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And who was the last name? It was somebody else big.
Cody's going to be there with a huge announcement. So and Dom will be there with the North American Championship. If Dom's there, then maybe Rhea will be there. They have loaded this Tuesday NXT up.
and then Becky might be there. Like you,
Yeah.
So don't ever tell me, this is for all wrestling fans out there. You can clip this 5-star. You can
Hold
clip
on.
this
Okay, go ahead, and then I'll tell you why you're
for our
wrong.
little clip. Don't ever tell me, wrestling fans, that WWE does not care about AEW. They saw the shift of the show and they shifted everything. They said, you know what? We're going to load up on our show. Like you said, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Becky Lynch, and they're putting stars on the show. It's the Tuesday Night Wars all over again. Let's do it, baby.
It's one time. So there's Title Tuesday. Dynamite is having to move to Tuesday one time. And when they did that, they announced that Edge will make his in-ring debut against Luchasaurus. So what does WWE do? That's NXT Tuesday. They load up NXT. I don't think that means that they look at AEW as competition or going to hurt them or whatever. But I will say, Eric, it's like somebody opening up a gym down the street from yours and you've already been in business 10 years. It's like somebody opening up another Memphis Wrestling down the street and I've already got 4 years in. I think WWE is just trying to show Edge like, hey, man, we could take it from you if we want to.
At the end of the day, counter programming is nothing new.
Right.
Are they competition in a rough sense? Yes. But do we ever none of us believe right now that AEW is anywhere near what WWE as a whole, as a brand, as a product. It's a great secondary thing. And I think WWE knows that. But that doesn't mean just because they're flexing on them doesn't mean that they're scared of them.
Right.
Yeah, I won't say scared, but I'm just letting you know that's like, as our boy says, our guy, the longest reigning champion, Roman Reigns would say, they're being acknowledged.
They are being acknowledged, or at least Edge is being acknowledged. So here's the question that I want to ask everybody. Who wins the war that night? Does more people watch AEW and Edge's debut, or do they watch John Cena, Paul Heyman, Becky, Cody, no telling who else? Which one wins that night?
I think this is an easy answer.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy.
What's the easy answer?
As bad as I want it to be AEW, especially after last night, and they're doing the storyline with Christian and Edge, where they do like Edge wants to be back with Christian so bad, and then Christian just says, go F yourself, and they're going to try to build that up. As bad as we want that to be the thing,
love it.
This is amazing storyline, amazing storytelling. As bad as that we want that to be the thing, bro. Cody, Cena, Becky, Paul Heyman.
And potentially Rhea.
Those are 5 mega stars, bro, on the NXT program. Yeah. And you can't. And the thing is, you don't know why they're there. So that's the enticement, right? Why are they on NXT?
Right. I think they have Monday night, they have Friday night. They've got a couple of more shows to market this to all the wrestling fans. So if somebody missed Raw, they missed NXT, they can watch SmackDown. I'm just saying there's a couple of more days. There's like a whole week left for them to market this to all the wrestling fans. So
here's my take on that is we love AEW. Hardcores love AEW. I don't care what anybody says. It's still a fringe thing.
The casuals haven't gotten into it yet.
It's still fringe.
Casuals are very
would agree. Yeah. So they don't have that. They don't have the marketing monster behind it. Yeah, it is probably a $100 million company now. Started out at one. All that, this, that, and the other. But it's still almost a made-for-television product. The marketing isn't there. I can tell you definitively the ticket sales are not there. I've seen numbers. So it's going to be WWE because if they want to resource it, they will and they can. So it's going to be WWE. I almost look at it from a standpoint of like you got these NXT guys are like, man, like we can counter program this. You bringing all the big stars over, taking our spot. But listen, from a mega company, you got to do it. Counter programming is just as long as old as the day is long. And man, WWE going to win. I think it'll be close. Though.
I think so too. It'll only be close because it's NXT, it's Tuesday, and such as. But AEW talking a lot about it. They are coming up live on Saturday, October 21st at FedEx Forum. We gave away tickets at our watch party on Sunday for AEW Wrestle Dream.
Interesting little fact about this. So I was talking to our building supervisor, the guy who books the buildings for all the big venue, whether it be WWE, a concert, and AEW. I actually was in the elevator with him today, and he said he's had more internal requests from staff for tickets to AEW than he's gotten for the past WWE. I just found that interesting because I still think it's a product that people are like, What is it? I'm a little interested.
Still a new shiny toy that we haven't gotten at FedEx Forum yet. We did get it at Landers Center, but it was really early on. It was a couple of years ago. That was a blast, by the way.
Resale has not been good, though. Just going to tell you that.
And to piggyback on your marketing and the $100 million company thing, they don't have all the puzzle pieces in place like a WWE does. You know, there might be a marketing person or two, but there's not a whole marketing department. I mean, just the way that everything's structured. And then that lends to the fact that WWE's been around forever and AEW's been around for 4 or 5 years. So,
well, and if you had, and let's just take it from a normal family of 4, right? You have the expendable resources to go to a show. You're going to WWE.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
The way it is.
Okay, so headlines. We've been talking a lot about AEW, also WWE. So why don't we go right there in the middle? Jade Cargill is allegedly headed to Monday Night Raw. They did another big promo package on her on Monday. They did that on Friday, making her a really big deal, saying that she looks like a superhero. She's going to be a major star. I mean, they are building her up huge before she ever debuts, but it did hit the dirt sheets that it looks like she's going to be on Monday Night Raw. We also know who else is on Monday Night Raw. Jade Cargill to Raw. What do you think, Devin?
I love it, bro. And I know I didn't mention this last week because we really didn't get to dive into it. But you know who Jade reminds me of, bro?
Hold on, let me think.
Are y'all superhero fans at all?
Yeah, of course. Oh, Storm.
Storm, bro.
Yes.
And I pray to baby Jesus that WWE, because they'd like to do corny shit sometimes, they don't do I know they've done the Storm is coming. Just don't make her freaking Storm the superhero, bro.
They might.
Jade be Jade. And I've read, dude, I know. Mm-hmm. And I've read the dirt sheets too, and they said that Meg Thee Stallion may be doing her theme song. Like I've been reading a lot about this Jade debut, and I cannot wait, bro. I cannot wait for Jade to debut in WWE. You talk about superstars, bro. Rhea, Jade's gonna be a megastar. Stamp that.
I mean, it's cool. But they're like, it depends how they're going to use her, right? Or if they're going to feed her to Rhea, really,
there's no feeding.
Yeah,
man. Well, here's the thing: who's going to be the star coming in? Rhea's still the star. Then you got, Jade. You still got Becky. You still got Charlotte. And I understand Bianca. It's just a thing, but there can't be. There can't be so many chefs in the kitchen. There can only be so many stars in this women's division.
They're top heavy in the women's division at this point. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte, Becky, Jade Cargill. You could put Nia Jax in there because she's working for the title. Asuka. Gosh, I love Chelsea Green. I know she's in the tag team, but I think she's going to be a major player.
Doesn't move the crowd at all.
She will though.
Last week.
She will though. That's 7 that I just named off the top of my head, and I know I'm missing somebody that somebody.
But remember how over Bailey was? It's like I'm just worried that it could go like a route like that. It's like make an impact and then because who's the long-term star? And I still think it's Rhea Ripley and Charlotte.
I think Jade but she has a crossover ability. Because you didn't even say Bianca, bro.
I threw Bianca in there. I did throw Bianca in there. Bianca. He's in a really tough spot.
I mean,
because I think he should be on top, but you have Rhea Ripley on top. It is very difficult at this point because they have so many major stars in the women's division in WWE. Now check this out. Also,
you rather have a lot of stars like WWE and have
it's a great problem to have.
It is a great problem.
Division is the drizzle. What do you say? The drizzling shits.
That's what they say. Okay, so sticking with Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins for 2 weeks in a row now in his promos has teased CM Punk. Now, I want to tell you that coming up on November the 25th at Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, is WWE Survivor Series. And this is 2 weeks in a row. Now, let me tell you, Eric, Devin, you guys know Vince McMahon is not going to be allowing something to be said on his television program, especially to put over somebody that walked out on the company and blah, 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 and all that stuff. So Vince is actually allowed, and I'm using air quotes, Vince is allowed. They actually mentioned teasing CM Punk twice in a row now. Are we going to get CM Punk at Survivor Series?
If we see CM Punk at Survivor Series, I'm going to jump off a damn cliff.
Let me just ask you a question, 5-star. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
It depends on what it is. If it's a short-term contract and you can bring CM Punk in to sell the building out and sell $1 million worth of T-shirts, good deal.
And build them to a pay-per-view?
Make him come back at the Royal Rumble. Take him off TV for a while. He comes back at the Royal Rumble. They pop him again. I just don't know if you do a long-term thing. But also, I do know that WWE usually doesn't.
See, that's a big gamble, man.
Yes, that's true. But that type of stuff doesn't typically happen in WWE. It just doesn't.
I think, and when we talked about this before, the only place where CM Punk gets a pop is one place.
Chicago.
So you sign him for 1 day, like a 1 day contract. You're here for this one show and take your ass home. I don't need you anywhere around us.
Punk might be too smart for that. Punk might say, no, man, I need 6 months or I need at least a year. And I guess it all depends on what the return on investment would be, selling out Allstate Arena, selling a bunch of T-shirts, not only at the arena, but nationwide. I just think that they're leaving money on the table if they don't do it. I know we talk about CM Punk. I know Eric couldn't score a meeting or an interview with him. But I think it's going to happen, guys. I think Survivor Series, we get Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk, or we get CM Punk making his return in Chicago that starts a storyline where it's going to continue to a match later. Because if you think about it, Royal Rumble's right around the corner in January. WrestleMania is not that far away in April. We're already in October.
And just because you said that 5-star, and because you're thinking about it and fans are thinking about it, Allstate Arena is going to be packed to the brim.
With high expectations.
With high, just you know what I'm saying? They're going to be there like, you know what?
They'll throw.
They said CM Punk might be here.
They'll throw stuff if he don't.
Oh, yeah, they'll go insane. Chicago fans are crazy, but like.
Especially with WWE teasing it.
It's just so funny the way the business has changed, though, to me, is because, let's rewind, even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but me and you, Dustin, 20 years ago, you needed to let the audience know who was going to be there to sell the pay-per-view. Now, with the way the network is, and it's the social media click-driven business model a lot of times and through things, is that like you're building the surprise now. And because you want those clicks on social media, look what happened. You don't necessarily people already got the service, or they don't. It's not a pay-per-view model anymore. It's just, I look at it from a business perspective like that.
Totally.
Like it's just unique. I could totally see him in the stands and just get the clicks rather than contract. We're going to pay you $100,000, $500,000, sit front row, talk crap and never see him again. That's a very plausible thing, the way the actual business structure of things are now.
Yeah, and they'll make money off of that socially too. That's the headlines that I have this week. Devin, I know there was some stuff you wanted to touch on last week. You haven't been here in a couple of weeks. Is there anything we want to hit? We got just a couple of minutes before we get out of here.
I mean, before we get out of here, I need to see Eric do the Prince Nana dance.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a couple of weeks. Just so you guys know, Prince Nana is coming to Memphis Wrestling on Sunday, October 29th. But guess what? Guess who's coming with him?
Is Swerve coming with him?
I wish.
Oh, by the way, just because you said that, can I talk about how big of a freaking superstar Swerve is?
Yes, Swerve stole the show.
Talk about WWE fumbling the bag, bro. Swerve was there, and they didn't know what to do with Swerve. Swerve goes to WWE. He kind of, AEW, he kind of meddles a little bit. He finds his niche as a heel. He has the mobile thing now, and now he's a freaking superstar. And the fans are going crazy every time he comes out.
But there's can only be so many stars, man.
He's a star, bro.
Like, listen, you'll never hear me saying WWE fumbles the bag.
They fumble.
I don't know that Swerve was ready in NXT, but now that he's broken out in his singles career in AEW, and Prince Nana going viral has really helped that out, because the people go crazy when he comes out. And to finish what I was saying, October 29th, not only is Prince Nana coming, but Brandon Cutler is coming as well.
Oh, God.
We are going elite October 29th. So anyway, here's what's coming up on Memphis Wrestling. You can't no-sell that.
No selling that.
You can't
no sell that shit, bro.
It's going to be a super kick party.
Man. Go buy tickets. Go buy tickets.
Here's what's coming up on Memphis
tomorrow
Wrestling.
And yesterday and today. All at
this Friday. This Friday on Memphis Wrestling on Action News 5 Plus, JTG will be in action, and then also the Posse had issued a challenge for a fight against Too Cool 2. Devin, what about Too Cool 2 being back? No, Eric, I know you remember them.
You want me to lie? Which one do you want? You want to be honest?
But I love the Posse, man. The Posse, dude, like Posse, they ain't bad guys. They're misunderstood.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, Posse.
I've been
riding with Posse for 20 years.
I agree. They're just misunderstood. Posse's a good guys.
It's all going down. Friday night on Action News 5 Plus, and then also again on Saturday morning. Then on Saturday, October 7th, which
You ain't got no
this
love
Saturday.
for the posse, Dustin.
Me?
And that's
They
the
torn
Been
business.
your homeboys for 20 years. You have a little miscommunication, and they're
They've torn the
disgruntled.
building
Everybody
up.
gets
They ruined
disgruntled in their work.
Christmas. Just
And
wait
that's
till
the
you see
big-
what they do this Saturday.
Everybody gets disgruntled in work. How many times have you been disgruntled in your work, Dustin? And you just say,
Never.
"It's not my fault. I misunderstood." You've been right. Those have been your boys for 20 years.
And that's the
This
business,
Saturday.
dog.
This Saturday, WWE Fastlane. You
What?
can watch absolutely free at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. This Sunday's our Halloween Spooktacular with Gangrel, Kevin Thorn, Crazy Steve, and Cruel. They're all going to be there. It's going to be like
I
a Comic-Con
represented the
setting
posse
almost.
at one point.
You actually did represent the posse at one point. Anyway, ringside seats are all gone. So if you want to get a general admission seat, you can get VIP and meet the stars, but use the code Halloween at checkout. General admission's $10. Use a $5 discount. You can get in the house for $5. That's going down this Sunday. Then on Saturday, October 21st, one day before my birthday, AEW Collision is live at FedEx Forum. We're going to announce a pre-party so we can all hang out, eat, drink, and then head over to FedEx Forum. That party might actually be inside FedEx Forum, so I'm working on some stuff on that. But October 21st, AEW Collision. Then October 28th, meet us out in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee, in Whitehaven at the YMCA. It's Small Business Saturday, and Memphis Wrestling will be on hand. And actually, I think the posse are scheduled to be out there, so it might be a fight.
See, look, they're helping you out, and you still going to talk smack about them. They're going to show up there for you. What? They still got love for Dustin, but Dustin ain't got no
Lawsuit,
love.
perhaps? I don't know. October 29th, Prince Nana and Brandon Cutler will be in Memphis Wrestling at the Wrestle Center. Those tickets are on sale right now. MemphisWrestling.tv. We've got all of our events scheduled throughout the end of the year, and then we'll be announcing 2024 dates coming up very, very soon. And we will announce, I can't announce until December 20th, but we will announce a former WWE superstar who was recently released that will be making his first appearance in Memphis. And I'm checking out Devin doing the Nana dance, and that must be the time to sign off. That's all the time we have for today. E-Rock, Eric McMahon, what's up this weekend? Real quick.
Man, I've been traveling and on the road so much that it's nice to be home for a weekend. I'm going to be able to coach my kids' soccer game Friday night. Memphis Grizzlies open practice Saturday. Memphis Grizzlies preseason Sunday. Be here. Big weekend in Memphis.
Devin.
Yeah, open practice Saturday, Grizz game on Sunday. Bro, we lit, bro. It's that time of year again.
It's a road game on Sunday, though, right?
No, bro, it's a home game. What's wrong with you, dog?
This Sunday,
Yeah.
I will be at the Wrestle Center. I thought it was an away game.
It starts at 7. You'll be there.
Yeah, and that's the business, dog.
Guys, if you think for 1 second that I would be done with TV, look, I'm actually looking at my calendar right now because I'm shocked.
Yeah, you got that deer in the headlight look.
It is. Look at this calendar. I've got stuff all over it. Yep. Well, guys, I will see you at the second game of the Grizzlies season. That's all the time we have. The star, he's Devin Walker and E-Rock Eric McMahon saying, so long, everybody. Is that really a home game this week?
Yes, bro.
For real?
Sunday and Tuesday.
Yeah. I'll be there Tuesday.